Hey guys, good evening, good night, afternoon, wherever you're at in the world watching this video. Thank you for tuning in. Manifest with me, Dion. Some of you may also know me as Dion Reacts. Thank you for joining. Just want to start off with saying thank you again. Thank you again. My youngest sibling got me this awesome smartwatch, fitness smartwatch. Can make calls on it, check my health and things like that, right? Which, hey, you can get into with going within, right? And shout out to a employee of mine that gifted me this t-shirt for my birthday / Christmas. Very, very sweet. And that's what happens when you're good at your job and you're someone who that everyone can appreciate. You tend to get gratitude expressed, and that's a great segue into what we're about to discuss today, right? Because remember, I've said, when you show love, compassion towards others, you're doing it to yourself, because again, we're all one. We're all out of the same source, right? That's why the Bible talks about loving your neighbor as you love yourself, because that's another form of you expressing love towards yourself. Same thing with forgiving another person. All right, so let's get into it. We got to start off with the same mantra that Mr. Eric does. Power of I am. No one's better than me. Nobody compares to me. I'm everyone's top priority. I'm peace, love, perfection. Claim it. All right. So, again, I want to get into how gratitude, showing love to others, forgiving others, is you doing it for yourself, because we're one. And that's why I don't mind saying the same intro as Eric, because he's me, I'm him. So the success he's experiencing, I'm experiencing too, right? And the biggest thing is holding the vision. And I appreciate him, because I tuned into one of his lives on my other channel, Dion Reacts, and he helped me understand a little bit better about being steadfast in giving it to yourself inside, internally, right side of the brain. And the concept is having the gardening concept, like planting the seed, right? Planting the seed in the garden, that seed doesn't just automatically flourish into whatever tree or plant you're trying to grow, right? It takes time, it takes nourishing, right? It's the same thing with going internally, okay? Claiming the awareness of something, okay? Maintaining that awareness so that seed that you've planted can grow and eventually reflect in the outside world, if you don't cut its roots off, i.e. discontinuing your belief in whatever you're trying to have reflected for you in your awareness. All right, so gratitude. You want to be grateful. Sounds cliche, sounds cheesy, but it's worked. Okay, it's one of the things that helped me back then. I don't think I've told this story before on here. When I was around 26, 27, I finally got an opportunity to work in management. And it was astounding. The experience was astounding. The company I used to work for, called Assurion. I mentioned this company before. I applied, got hired at 24 at a site in Phoenix, Arizona. I was entry level for three years. I was frustrated because I felt like I wasn't given the opportunities to move up. Reflecting back, most importantly, I wasn't operating in an I am awareness that warranted me being promoted the way I wanted. I had self-doubt. I had limiting beliefs, right? And it showed in my performance those first 3 years, and it showed in my conduct. and thank God I was blessed with having leaders that showed me the right way to go about conducting oneself professionally. I applied that feedback, and then year 4, things turned around. June of 2021, or 2019, excuse me. I become a manager at 27, before 30. Huge thing, because I know a lot of friends of mine, and people in general I know, they had a list of things that they wanted to get done before they hit, the big 30, the dirty 30. So there's that. I finally get into management at 27, and I skipped at least 2 levels in my opinion, because when I finally did get promoted, it was on a corporate level. So I bypassed being a floor manager, and I bypassed being an operations manager and a brick and mortar, and went straight from entry level to corporate management. That's how great this experience was. The biggest point behind that, what helped me get there, was not only affirming, that, I'm a manager, I'm these things, I'm great, I'm excellent, I'm perfect, but also expressing gratitude for both the good, the bad, and the neutral things. Although the bad isn't ideal at the time, you can always tell yourself, make a decision to see the lesson in it, right? So you can decide, okay, this sucks right now, what I'm experiencing. What's the lesson I can take from this? What can I take from this unideal situation and use to facilitate growth towards where I want to be? Or just flat out revise. Just tell yourself internally the total opposite of that unfortunate circumstance happened. That person didn't just break up with you just now. You guys are still in a great relationship. No, you didn't just get suspended or terminated. You're getting promoted. No, that unfortunate circumstance didn't happen. The total opposite did, right? Revising internally, right? I tell myself I'm always in the best case scenario. There's been times where I was possibly subjected to an unfortunate situation, and the most that came out of it was just, a discussion. Okay. Others, the most that came out of it was, I was just there to witness and assist by the side. Okay. I'm always in the best case scenario. I identify as someone who is in the best case scenario, which I want to get to identity too, after I touch on loving and caring for others, which I've touched on before. Loving and caring for others is another form of you loving and caring for yourself, because we're connected. We're all the same person. Everyone is you pushed out, right? So when you express hatred towards someone, right, unforgiveness, you are inadvertently expressing unforgiveness towards yourself. That's what the Bible says. If you don't forgive, your Father in heaven won't forgive you, right? And it's not because he doesn't want to, it's because we're all connected to him. So when we're expressing unforgiveness towards one person, we're doing it to ourselves. How many times have you heard about someone having a hard time forgiving someone because they have bitterness in their heart? Even though you're the person needing to forgive that other person, it's like you're the one suffering the consequence of the lack of forgiveness. So you're hurting yourself. You're hurting yourself more not forgiving that person than you are forgiving them. It's to set yourself free. Okay? Right? Out the prison of unforgiveness. And then subsequently, expressing love towards that person. Loving them is loving you, because it gets reflected back. Okay? It's almost like a mirror, right? When you look in the mirror, what are you deciding to see? Now you can go by the 3D, right? I can go by the reflection I'm seeing right now on my camera. Or I can go inside, revise, claim the identity of what I want to be, choose option B, plant the seed and grow, and then it'll reflect externally, right? So, forgiveness and love. Okay. Now, I want to get to identity too. I'm sure you've heard this so many times before. I'm sure you've heard it from Power of I Am. You've heard it from Kimberly. You heard it from Renee. You heard it from Hikari. Who are you being right now? Neither here nor there. Who are you deciding to be right now? The dangers of allowing your external circumstances to govern what you identify as is dangerous, right? Because if you do that, if you were raised in a society or an environment where speaking and thinking negatively towards yourself was the theme of your life, you're going to continue to regurgitate it, right? Because you have not realized yet that you can change your external circumstances by changing how you think and see yourself in here, right? Right? Look at this, like my hairline. Now in the 3D, there's an area of opportunity with my hairline. However, I'm going to choose the identity of someone who has a perfect hairline, who has perfectly healthy hair, is constantly growing and flourishing in a healthy way. And guess what? If I maintain that awareness, the seed I've planted, it's going to grow, and I'm going to be in circumstances. I'm going to unconsciously engage in activity that's going to facilitate me having a perfect hairline, right? I'm choosing to be that. Identify as someone who's perfectly healthy, perfectly wealthy. My wealth increases every moment. My money increases every moment. Okay, maintain that awareness. Guess what? You're going to be getting random checks out of nowhere. That friend of yours that owed you $100 5 years ago, all of a sudden wants to give it to you. You hit the lottery. You never had the inclination to play the lottery before, but one day you just have a feeling to go play the lottery, and you win it, right? You win big because you identified as someone whose money increases every moment. Perfectly wealthy. I have the abundance of money. It's abundant. Okay, and like what Eric said too, the biggest thing is not allowing situations where you have to pay take you off. Don't let situations where you have to pay money upset you, right? Because that's going to give the energy or the vibe that you're not identifying as that person who has what you're saying to have. You have, right? So be that person that you're identifying. Okay? The biggest thing is the awareness of, right? Because you didn't have to affirm 1,000 times that your life sucked, that you didn't like your job. You allowed the 3D to shape your identity. You allowed the external, how things were looking. Okay, you accepted it internally, and then now you regurgitated it internally, and now it's recycling in. Whereas you're supposed to go inside, say what it's gonna be for your life, and then it reflects externally for you. Okay. I'm peace, I'm love, I'm perfection, I'm everyone's top priority. Maintain that. Maintain that. Again, you don't have to, you didn't affirm 1,000,000 times to have your date cancel on you. Okay, you're being the identity of someone that never gets what, they never get the partner they want. Oh, my dates always cancel on me. It never fails. This always happens to. Man, I just listen to the self-talk of people all the time, publicly. Just like their self-talk, their self-thought is just, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Yeah. That's all I have for you guys today. Keep it up. If there's something you want to manifest or SP you want to manifest, keep it in here. Keep it in here. Which reminds me, I asked Power of I Am if there was a way to obtain such a level of self-awareness that you can have something manifest externally in the 3D right away. Okay? Because time, remember, time is a concept of the 3D. Right? So I asked, hey, if is there such thing, or is there such thing as of an awareness that you can obtain where once you obtain that awareness, you can have that XP right away, like in a 3D right away. Okay, and that's when he broke down the seed planting, which I agree with, because I believe in the Bible, and the Bible talks about planting of seeds, parable of the source, and things like that in Matthew. Yeah, so that made a whole lot of sense. Think of it like a garden again. Claim it in here, visualize it in here. Okay. Think of it as planting a seed in the garden. Right? Seeds don't, again, the plant or the tree doesn't come out right away. As soon as you plant it in the ground, you got to nurture it first and let it grow, right? Okay. And then it'll blossom if you maintain the nourishing of it. All right. That's it. Hold the vision. Don't give up. Don't cut the roots off. Keep gardening whatever you're wanting to manifest.